So once again, thank you all for being here to our CIELO workshop series. A very exciting one today, and we'll talk about today's guest speaker and topic in just a second. But first of all, just a quick introduction as to who we are at CIELO and what we do. So I see a lot of familiar faces, but I also see a lot of new faces too. So CIELO, in terms of who we are, CIELO stands for Community for Innovation, Entrepreneurship, Leadership, and Opportunities. In terms of who we are and what we do, we officially launched in 2015, but we've been helping clients since 2012. We're a nonprofit organization helping aspiring entrepreneurs become business owners. We help you build and develop the entrepreneur mindset needed to help you achieve success. We provide the resources and the guidance, and our clients provide the hard work and the passion. And being that we are a nonprofit organization, all of the services and programming that we offer is at no cost. It's free to our clients. In terms of what we offer, what services do we offer here at CIELO? We have a few different ones. So we do offer a small business development training program, which I see a few of you who have participated are here on this call today. We also have a monthly workshop series, which is exactly what we're doing here today. Every month we have a different subject that we talk about in regards to entrepreneurship that's actually presented by a subject matter expert. So this is an example of what we're doing here today. We also offer one-on-one small business coaching for any of you who are looking to talk to a small business consultant. We do offer that service as well too. We offer a microgrant program for existing CIELO clients. So CIELO clients of ours who have gone through our programming, specifically the Small Business Development Training Program, there is opportunity for microgrant for startup expenses. And we have some of our microgrant winners here on the call today. And we also try to provide connections to small business resources and services. In terms of upcoming events for CIELO, our next small business startup program is starting on September 6, 2022. We actually just started a small business startup program last week. But in terms of what it is, take a journey in an entrepreneur roadmap to success. This is a 6-week training program for entrepreneurs and startups. It includes 3 weeks of live classroom training and one-on-one business coaching. Some of the topics that we talk about are how to pick a business name, advertising on social media, introduction to business financials, and much, much more. And if you are interested in learning more about this program, feel free to email us at info@cielocommunity.org. All of you also will be getting a recap email of today's presentation, along with the recorded video of today's presentation as well too. So if any of you have any questions regarding the presentation or regarding what we offer here at CIELO, feel free to reach out to us through way of that email as well too. So that takes us to today's topic on how to have a successful pop-up event. So with CIELO, with a lot of our clients, we do have a lot of clients that are actually going into this market, getting into the pop-up markets, farmers markets, both mobile or at, like I mentioned, a farmers market or a vendor fair. So this is a really exciting topic. We haven't had anybody speak on this before. And it's going to be presented by our partners at Hustle Trucks, our co-founder of Hustle Trucks, Sara Van Ells. So thank you so much, Sara, for being here. And I'll go ahead and pass it off to you.
All right. Thank you so much. That was such a lovely introduction. You guys do so much good stuff over there. I'm always so happy to be a part of everything that you're doing. So my name's Sara Van Ells, and I'm the co-founder of a company called Hustle Trucks. Hustle Trucks is a pretty new concept. It is micro real estate rentals, which is the very fancy way of saying it. But we have taken some trucks and turned the back of them into stores. And our customers are small business owners like you who rent these trucks by the day or week or month. and take them wherever and set up a store for the day, week, or month. So I have learned so much from my customers about how to put on a successful pop-up event. And that's what I'm here to share with all of you guys. So can everybody see the screen that I'm sharing? The title should be there. Perfect. Okay. So give me 1 second here. I apologize. Give me 1 second. I'm having some difficulties on my side. Okay, I'm just going to talk you through it. I'm not going to share my screen with you, but what I'll do is after this is done, I'll email everybody who's on the event today a copy of the PDF that I'm talking from. So I'm
So
better.
do you want me to share the screen for you?
No, that's okay. I'm better off the cuff anyway, to be completely honest. So no big deal. Okay, so what we're going to cover is absolutely everything that you need to know to host a successful pop-up event. We're going to do the basics, managing your goals, what success can look like for you, how to budget for the day, location, your timing, how to do the marketing for the event. And at the end, I'll give you a little cheat sheet that just sort of like neatly wraps everything up, so you're able to take your show on the road. So a really good question to start off with is, why should you listen to me? I mean, who am I, right? So like I just told you, I'm a small business owner just like you. The only difference is I run a small business that serves small businesses. So through my customers, I've been exposed to just a tremendous amount of experience and tips on how to do business really, really well. In my heart, I believe that mobile retail is the future. And I don't think that you need to look any farther than like already thriving pop-up markets. We're so blessed in Los Angeles and Orange County to have such an amazing culture of food trucks and people selling things from tents on the side of the road. Like, it's right there, and it always has been. This isn't a new idea. It's just making it accessible to people is the new part of the idea. My husband and I run several businesses together, and we run a van conversion company. And our customers used to be people who would want a van to like go on a trip for the weekend, or to live in if they were maybe a traveling nurse or worked in film or something. And then whenever businesses were shut down because of COVID regulations, we started to get a lot of inquiries from small business owners asking us to turn their vehicles into barbershops or nail salons or clothing boutiques. And we were like, okay, here it is. People want this. We can do it. It's possible, but it's also really expensive. So we're pretty uniquely positioned to build out a model truck. We created a rentable version of something that our customers were telling us that they wanted, and it worked. And now it's 2 years later, and we are expanding, and we have a whole fleet, and we're going to be in new cities and all over the country. And this is going to be like a huge, big business that came from the idea of just listening to what our customers were telling us that they wanted. So the reason that I told that story was that's the only way that you can learn. Listen to what your customers have to say. And that's how I am able to give this presentation today, by paying attention to my customers and hearing what they say and the lessons that they learn. And I am digesting them and giving them to you. So everybody knows what temporary retail is. And like, the first thing that you think of is the Spirit Halloween store that like creeps in to every abandoned storefront in the fall, which is great. Good for them. Like, love that business model. So perfect. But it's also like bigger and better than that. Like, if you think about whenever Cookies is doing a new launch on Melrose, they'll actually pop up into the building next to them to just have like a special temporary launch site. If you go up and down Abbot Kinney, you'll see all of those storefronts that were abandoned are now temporary retail spots. Like it's a cool, fun thing to do. And it doesn't have to be an experience reserved just for like Nike or Farm Rio or cookies or whatever. Anybody can do it. And that's what I'm going to tell you how to do right now. So perfect. The number one thing when you're starting on your pop-up journey is to set your intentions. What does success look like for you? It's going to look different for you than it does for me and for the person sitting next to you. By deciding what you want at the end, you'll be able to move more effectively through the journey. So an example of a goal could be to increase your sales. Obviously, you just want to move product. If you sell a physical item, you have lots of them, you want to sell them, that's your goal. But like put a number on it. You can't just say, oh, I want to make so much money. Say, like, I'm going to sell 35 purses today. That like, and then you have something to work toward and you know exactly in what direction you should be hustling. Another goal would be to create new revenue streams. So maybe your goal isn't to sell so many things that day. Maybe your goal is to get signups for a subscription service that you're launching, or just to see if people are interested in a new idea that you have. Maybe you're just collecting email addresses and getting follows on social media, because what you're really looking to do is grow your brand so that in the future you can have a super big launch and you can have a sales goal. But for today, you're just showing up and you're getting your name out there and you are ensuring that everyone who sees you has a positive experience. Another goal that you can have is just to meet your existing customers in real life. Like it doesn't always have to be about money. Like, yes, that is great. And we do all want that for sure. But all roads can lead to money later on. It doesn't have to be the only version of success today. So by defining what you're going to do while you're out there, it'll help you plan. So for example, if your goal is to move product, make sure you have enough of it. Make sure you're doing a good job of hyping it up before then. If your goal is to grow your brand, make sure you have some really strong branding with you and something that people are going to remember you by. Create an experience with like a solid color story, lots of photo opportunities, something cute, something interactive that leaves a memory for your customers. If you're just collecting email addresses and social media follows, totally different story. All you need is a QR code. That's it. Like these are all different goals that you need to prepare for. I can't say this enough. Every day that you go out and do a pop-up is not going to be the day that you make so much money. It's just not going to happen for you every day. And you have to really make yourself be okay with that in the beginning. This might not be your money day, but this is the day that you make a future customer. This is the day that you show how personable you are. This is the day that you listen to the people who were saying, oh, I wish this was in a different color, or I wish you had a different flavor. And then the next time you're ready. It's not just about the sales. So. But what it is about is money. So if every day is not going to be a money day, then how do you prepare? By budgeting, right? So here are the things that you'll need to get ready for. Staffing and operations is a big part of your day. Even if it's just you and you're just at your table, like you are the staff, you are the operations. You need to plan for buying yourself snacks. You need to pack a lunch that day, like run it like a real business, and you will be perceived as a real business. And if you're going to have a friend with you, the very least you can do is buy them breakfast or coffee or something. So budget for that too. Before your event, focus on advertising and marketing. These are things that you definitely can do for free, but they fall into the budgeting category because it's either going to cost you time or money, and we have a finite amount of both in most cases, so plan for them. If you're going to be creating any type of experience with like photo ops or anything like that, that falls under staging and decor. So you'll need to have a little bit put aside for that. Permits and licensing can also cost money. They're usually free, but always double check. Like always, always, always double check what you need if you're going to be in the right place. The last thing you want to do is so much preparation and then have somebody come up and tell you that, like, oh, you needed your something that you have never heard of before that would have taken you 10 minutes to sort out, but now it's a problem. So budget some time for that too. And if you do decide to use a hustle truck, budget for filling the tank up with gas, just like a rental car. I'm going to pause for a minute here because I just got a message in the chat. Okay. And somebody's asking me a question, which I'll talk about at the end. Okay, so the next thing to consider whenever you're planning a pop-up is, where are you going to go? If you're in one of my trucks, it's pretty easy because you just park them wherever you park a regular truck. But if you're going to an established market that is in one place, that's a little bit trickier. Like, what are you selling? Who are you selling to? What's the vibe? Like, there's lots of really great markets out there that have a theme. And if you don't fall into that, or it's not where your ideal customer would shop, then it's not the place for you. And it's just as simple as that. Excuse me. The right place for you to be is exactly where your ideal customer is and where they go. And that's it. It's not what's convenient for you. It's not what's affordable for you. It's where your ideal customer shops. And sometimes those things don't always match up, and that stinks, but it's the truth. Ideally, the location that you choose will match your goals. So if you do intend to set the goal of moving inventory, you want to go to like a super high foot traffic place where your ideal customers are shopping and they're ready to spend money. And if you're going to take one of our trucks, a good idea is to go where there's lots of complementary businesses. I choose to exist in a place with no competition, only complements. So if I'm selling pottery, I'm not going to go outside of another ceramicist. I'm going to go outside of a plant store. And because those two businesses complement each other, we can share customers, and hopefully everybody has a great day that day. But if you are going to go to a market, do a little bit of research and talk to some of the vendors who've been there before. Find out what times of day are busy, find out what the vibe is, see if they had a good time. You know, so often we'll talk to people who are running their own business who get stuck in a rut just like everybody else, and they don't know why they keep going back to the same farmer's market, even though they are not having a great weekend. They don't know why. And talk to them and see, like, is this a good fit, or is it just close to your house? Are these where your ideal customers are shopping, or is it just a market that you've heard of? Because often those two things aren't the same. Okay, the timing part of your market is key. We are coming into the busiest shopping part of the entire year. So it's like a gold mine, right? It's the end of summer, everybody's looking to spend money, and then it's going to be the holidays. So everybody is going to be hopefully shopping for the people that they care about, to buy gifts for them. You really, really need to choose wisely. Like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to be? Some things are simple, like flowers and chocolates on Mother's Day, absolute no-brainer. If you are selling homemade items, like craft fair type things and jewelry, that's an excellent like pre-holiday selling zone. Maybe not so much at the end of summer if you're selling scarves. But like again, you know your ideal customers, and you know like the right timing for your exact right product. You just have to think about it. One of the things that I always tell our customers is, if you're going to take one of our trucks, the parking lots in between Venice Beach and Santa Monica Pier are so wonderful. They have the highest amount of foot traffic, and whatever you're selling is going to do so well, unless it's something really heavy or something that people don't want to carry up and down the beach. Like, it sounds like such a simple thing, but those little details do make the difference. And the biggest thing that will make or break your pop-up event for sure is marketing. You could have the best products. You could position yourself in front of your ideal, perfect customers, the just right time of year and the just right place. But if you haven't told anybody about it, they're not going to show up. So marketing is 100% what is going to make or break your pop-up event. So obviously you want to do everything when you're first starting out on the cheap. So it might not take a lot of money, but like I said, it is going to take a lot of your time. Social media, everything on every social media platform is just to monetize a product. And when you run a small business, that's what you're doing on there. So you can use that to your advantage. Take some behind the scenes photos, detail the progress of you setting everything up. Make sure you're sending emails to past customers. Make sure you are clear with who you are, what you have, where you're going to be, and at what time. Send it out, ship it every conceivable way. Static images, reels, stories, direct messages, use every single thing at your disposal because you are the lighthouse shining out the beacon of information to get everybody to come to your store. Like no one cares as much about this as you do. So you have to like let them know about it and put everything behind it. And then once it's over, you can, say thank you to everybody because they'll be sick of hearing about it by then. One of the more advanced ways to go about it is to really use some of the social media tricks of increasing engagement right before a big event through polls and reels and different tricks on stories, which you can learn all about on Instagram, and then creating a paid ad that targets specifically the people who have interacted with your stories during the day of your pop-up market. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but it really goes a long way in getting your content in front of the people who you want to come and shop at your store. The reason that they will come to your store is because you've created this incredible air of exclusivity. This isn't like a regular trip to Target. This is your store. It is special. It is maybe the first time that it's happening. Maybe it's the only time before the holidays that your customers are going to get a chance to get a great deal, get an exclusive discount code, come and see you in person, come and see the new product that you've launched or taste the new flavor or whatever exciting thing that you have put into this, that you have been screaming from the rooftops for weeks and weeks. This is their time to do it. And that's why they're going to do it, because they know it's the only time, because it's a very cool pop-up event. And this is what you're telling them throughout the entire thing. All right, so the day has arrived. You have your products, you have marketed, you know where you're going, you know it's where your ideal customers go, they are ready to shop, you have the just right products that they want to buy from you. So here's what you do. You arrive and set up early, leave no room for errors. That's it. If they tell you you can get there at 7:30, you are outside in your car waiting at 7:15, ready to go. That's it. Don't say, oh, the market starts at 10 o'clock. I'll get there at 9:45 and throw my table down. No, you won't. Get there as early as possible. Set it up as early as possible. Better safe than sorry. Like, I have spoken to people who this is their life, these pop-up markets, and every weekend they forget something. They've been doing this forever. They're pros, they're seasoned, and they're forgetting tablecloths. Get there early. Just leave no room for error. And after everything is all set up early and it's perfect, take some pictures. Now's a good time to create some content for your social media followers, to do a little review, to make a video. You can go live, you can tell everybody everything. It will look perfect. You want to show it off. You want to engage and interact with the people who are walking past. You certainly don't need to be like somebody on the boardwalk yelling, hey, come in and get this, but you do want to have a smile on your face, and you do want to be friendly and approachable and just cool and laid back, and just, you don't have to yell at people and lure them in, but you don't want to ignore them either. Like, you're proud. They want to see what you have and you're happy to show it to them. And the whole day that you're there, you want to remember the goal that you set before this whole thing even started. If it was to move product, you are arranging it. It is staged perfectly. It is priced to sell. You are doing a wonderful job. If it is getting your brand out there, you have a smile on your face. Everything matches and is clear. This is your company, and here you are. And that's it, all day long. And at the end of the day, you'll be so exhausted, but it'll be worth it. The things that you don't want to do are show up unprepared. You left your bin at home. You forgot to ask somebody to come help you. Like, just, you're going to start the day off on a weird note, and it's going to carry through. Just be prepared. You don't want to hide in the truck. You don't want to sit at your booth staring at your phone. You don't want to not be there. Like, your body may be there, but your mind is somewhere else. Absolutely not. Be engaged. This is your business. You don't have anything better to do right now. And don't worry about a quiet moment. Like, don't worry. Have you ever been to, what's the busiest store in the world? Even the Mall of America, I'm sure, has very quiet moments. They don't get worried, and neither should you. It just means that everybody's not here right at this second, and that's it. It's not a comment on you. You are not doing bad. This wasn't a horrible idea. Everybody, it has nothing to do with you. People are just doing something else right now. They will be back. A slow moment does not define you. But if those slow moments keep up and you are in one of our trucks, don't be afraid to just change locations. Like, if you got it wrong, go somewhere else. No big deal. That's the beauty of being in a truck. A little bit different if you're at a market and you are in the static location that's set up. But now you know for next time. Maybe you got the vibe wrong. Maybe it's a weird weekend. Who knows? But I will say this, if you're at one of the markets and everybody's sort of having that feeling, you can talk to your neighbors and see if this is normal, see if maybe this just isn't the place for you. That's a totally okay thing to do, because the people who are at this are professionals, just like you are. Okay, so that was my cheat sheet there. So what do we all think? Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you so much, Sarah. Those are some solid tips, and it's making me want to go out and just do one now, honestly. So, and I feel like a lot of the participants as well too. Does anybody have any questions for Sarah over what we spoke about and regarding the cheat sheet and the tips that we had gotten today?
Yeah, I have a question. So, Sarah, so if for example, if I wanted to do a pop-up with Sweet Mission using using the truck, are you able to what am I looking for? Kind of help like design like what that may potentially look like in one of your trucks, or give suggestions on how that should be carried out?
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. So our trucks are suitable for selling non-food items and food items that are individually packaged. So if your cookies are already like created somewhere else and wrapped in plastic, you can definitely sell them out of a truck. They're set up like a very chic boutique style setup with the clothing rods and lots of flat surfaces and garment racks. We would definitely have to put additional like flat surfaces or cubbies for you in there, which would not be a problem at all. I would love to work with you. The outside of our trucks have in big black letters, "This truck is a store." So there is no question about what is happening inside of it.
Right.
But if you want to use a banner with your own branding, of course, that's a fantastic idea. And we 1000% encourage that. And I think at this point, we've worked with so many small business owners that no matter what you're selling, I can give you ideas of where to go as well.
Okay, perfect.
And Sarah, there's a question in the chat. This one's from Cynthia Gonzalez. Are permits required for pop-ups?
Yes. So in California, you need to have a California seller's license in order to conduct any type of business at all. I will not check for those, but should someone ask, you should have one. If you are going to be selling any types of homemade food, that's an entire different story, which I'm sure the good people at CIELO would love to give you all of the information on. I know that you are so much more well-versed in that than I am. To use one of the trucks from us, all that you need is a driver's license and an active car insurance policy.
Thank you for that. And we have another question too. This one's from Yancy. How do you create an audience or following if you're just starting out?
That is such a good question. And, it's one of those things where if you go and look online for the answer to that question, you'll get a million different answers that change like every single day, right? And people will tell you, oh, I don't know. Oh, just be so authentic. Oh, create content for whatever. They're all wrong and they're all right. And who knows? Like, honestly. There is one trick that I can confidently say works. If you have a small business, like we all do, you imagine your ideal customer. You imagine your dream perfect person who you would like to sell your item to or who you would like to give your service to. Now, create a second Instagram account and act as though you are them. And go in and like the things that you imagine your ideal customer would like. Go follow accounts that are similar ones to the business that you run and create this fake persona. Just spend a few days doing that. And then go to that fake persona's explore page and you'll see everything that your ideal customer is having spoon-fed to them by social media every single day. And now you know exactly what kind of content to create to appear in your ideal customer's algorithm.
Thank you for your insight on that. Got some more questions too. So it looks like Veronique asked, what are your pickup and return times for a truck?
Oh, okay. So the rentals are from 8 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. And the pickup location is, it depends. It's usually in South LA, but it could change. So before, a few days ahead of your rental, I always reach out with an email to go over just final details and instructions and give you a direct address and confirm the arrangements for pickup and drop off and everything. But South LA for now.
Awesome. And I posted your website on there too, just in case people want to look a little bit further into your website and what you offer as well. So I dropped that in the chat, everybody. Feel free to look. We also have a question from Gabby. So any tips for vetting hosts of pop-up markets or events before working with them as a contractor?
That is a really great question. I have to tell you, a few months ago, my husband and I, we had opened up a new shop, like I said, for the van conversion company and for Hustle Trucks. And we opened it up in Norwalk. And we had this huge space that was way too big for us. And it included this amazing parking lot. And I thought, oh my goodness, we should definitely do a pop-up market here because we have this great space and everybody loves those. And these are our customers. So I put so much effort into creating this pop-up market. And the lessons that I learned from the market, which I planned, that never happened, by the way, where it is so hard and so much work. And anybody who's doing this on a regular basis must love it and must be good at it because it is hard and thankless and expensive. And I also learned that whenever I made it known that this was a thing that I was planning and considering doing, so many people came out of the woodwork, sending me emails and DMs, telling me that they're gonna work with me and they'll just take a cut of the fees and they can guarantee dozens and dozens of vendors. It brought out like a lot of shady people. Like, so I got this weird impression of the people who put on these events as this like extremely dedicated, passionate, hardworking group, or people who were like kind of scammy and with almost nobody in the middle. And my instincts were telling me that it was way, way, way more hardworking, passionate people. So, and I was right. And the way that I vetted all the people was just by reaching out to people who would work with them before. Anybody who had like extended the offer of, oh, I can get you so many vendors and I'm so well known all over the place, had nobody for me to talk to. Like it, at a simple ask for a reference, it all came crumbling down. And everybody else who I reached out about their markets And I talked to vendors who like had worked with them before, nothing but positive things to say. It's either like, I got a very disparate choice of people. So it seemed like the really, really good, passionate, hardworking people were in the overwhelming majority. And the other people, you find out pretty quickly that they're not the people you want to work with. That was my experience anyway.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. Those are some good tips and insight on that, because I can see when you put yourself out there, you don't know what you're going to get. So yeah, I hear you.
I mean, personally, with me working with the CIELO clients, I've already heard a few stories from like, ooh, like, no, you know, so thank you for just sharing a little bit, Sarah.
Oh, I'm looking in the comments and I see Kim Haynes, who, yeah, she is out of San Diego and she has rented a hustle truck a few times for her vintage business. And I'm so happy that you said you had a good experience. That's great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. That's a great testimonial. All right. Did anybody else have any more questions for Sarah?
I have another one. What would you say are maybe some essential like marketing materials to have like starting out?
Oh, sorry. That's a great question. You want to have no brainer. You need a social media presence. Anybody without one is huge red flag. Like, I would not worry about physical assets at all, to be honest with you, unless it like seamlessly is in alignment with what your business does. I wouldn't worry about pens or, you know, anything like that. Business cards, honestly, maybe. But if you have planned everything correctly, you have a name that is memorable, you have a social media account handle that is that name, and there's no confusion. And, you know, the business name is indicative of who you are and what you do. So it should be easy to remember. I wouldn't overthink it, to be honest, on the marketing materials.
Good to know. All right. Anybody else have any more questions for Sarah?
I have a question.
Ready, Bob?
Hi, Sarah. Quick question. Like, what are your tips for like social media, like creating a social media presence, especially from people like me who like, I'll take everybody's pictures and I'll talk to people face to face, but when it comes time to like posting things where I have to like rewatch myself telling a story, it's so uncomfortable for me and I just don't like doing it, but I know like I got to do it. So do you have any tips for like creating a social media presence?
Creating a social media presence without showing your face, or just tips on how to just get over it because you know you're gonna have to show your
I'll
face?
take all of it. I know I'm gonna have to get over it. You know, I'm a little fluffy these days, so like all the angles look a little fluffy, but
Not at
but
all.
all the tips, I'll take all your tips.
Everybody hates their own voice. Everybody hates the way that they look in the reverse because it's not the you're used to seeing in the mirror. Like, these are not uncommon things. Everybody hates it. Unfortunately, this is what we're doing right now. You have to get over it. Like, and that's just that. I have seen extremely large brands with very moneyed marketing departments do things like use influencer models or create, you know, an alternate persona or use like a mascot or an animation. And I think that that's a great option, but frankly, they're not options for us as small business owners. So you just have to sort of, you know, either really lean into text posting or just like, if you are going to make videos, just put the text right over your face, I guess. Or just realize that you are super good at what you do, and what, you know, comes so easy and naturally to you is a mystery to everybody else, and there's no better person or voice or face to advertise for your company than you. You're the specialist in what you do. So why, you know, why are you afraid to put yourself out there? Which is easier said than done, and I get that.
I love what you said, Sarah, because I know in this world of, camera phones and Zoom, yeah, you don't always have the best, most flattering angles. But yeah, it's just something that, you either find a way around it or you just deal with it, right? But yeah, that's definitely something that
Yeah.
that exists more now, right?
Yeah. And also like feeling self-conscious. When was the last time that any of us looked at somebody who was like really putting themselves out there and being like the real them and thought like, wow, they look stupid and I don't want to talk to them. Like that's not even a thing that people think. So why would anyone think that about you? Yeah.
Very good point. Very good point. All right. Was there any more questions for Sarah?
Hi, Lorena. The fees that they charge sometimes I feel are very high, especially by being the first time you're gonna go sell.
Mhm.
I've heard of 100, 150, up to $200 fees to go for one day. What do you think about those fees, or are there others that are less expensive?
That is right on. Whenever we were planning the pop-up market that I asked around, I looked at the prices for other markets and they were all right around that $100 range for the day. Um, I honestly was surprised to see how high it is. But that seems to be the average around here. And I think that there's definitely ways you can make it more affordable for yourself. In the beginning, I would maybe talk to a friend who owns a complementary business to see if maybe they want to split the spot with you for the day. And or alternately, if this isn't your first time, but you're still trying to be budget conscious, talk to the event organizers and see if there's a way that you can get a discount in exchange for booking spots in advance. I think that any event planner would be excited and grateful to have people there, to have vendors already signed up in advance. And I think that to reduce their stress in planning is certainly worth a discount on the booth fee. And I don't think it's crazy to ask that at all. I mean, all you can do is ask, and what are they going to say? No. Okay. If you didn't ask, the answer is already no. So I would, split with a friend and then try to do it in advance for a discount. I think those are two pretty great ways to get ahead of the cost, which is high. I agree with you.
Thank you.
Can I interject in there? So, one thing, me, I'm not afraid to talk to people or ask questions because, closed mouth don't get fed. So I've gone to event organizers and I've said, hey, I'm just starting out. I really don't have money to the full price to do this event, but is there something you can help me with? Can you give me a complimentary time or something like that? So that's worked before. And then also what I've done in starting my business is I did kind of some research at the beginning to kind of find out how much these little markets were going to be to participate in. And then I included them in my pricing for my product. So in other words, it's already included in that price so that when I go to this market, even if the market was just like $100, well, it's already included in my price. So now that's covered on the beginning. So that's something I've done.
Yeah, thank you, Jason, for mentioning that. That's actually a good idea. Being flexible, kind of actually research is big, right? It's one thing I would always kind of piggyback with what Sarah says. Well, too is researching, making sure the investment is worth it. And yeah, if it is a little bit more expensive, you are your own business owner, so you can reflect it off the price if you need to, right? Just want to make sure that it's ultimately worth it and that it's profitable, right? So thank you for sharing that.
Okay. I had a question.
Sure.
Okay. I'm sorry, forgive me. I've had a lot of surgery in the last few days with my mouth, so bear with me. But my question to Sarah is, what do you think about trying to pre-sell your product before you ever do a pop-up? Have you done that?
I personally have not done that, though I think it's a fantastic idea. And I would actually you can go in two different directions with it. I think it is an amazing idea to pre-sell and do an in real life launch so people can come pick up the items and meet you in person. You are hitting literally every goal imaginable at that point by creating an experience. You are moving product, you are growing your brand, you're doing everything in that way. If you already have a product, you can also pre-sell, or you can do online orders that you pick up at the market and then upsell people when they get there. Some of our most successful boutique owners will have a like pre-event online sale, and you pick up the item that you bought online that weekend at the market, and they'll take the little extra few minutes to say like, oh, you bought this dress online, did you see this necklace and purse that goes perfectly with it? I have it here for you if you want to buy this too. And they always do well. So I think a pre-sale, perfect idea. And it also creates like real excitement for your event and makes like a legit launch experience, which is cool.
Yes, thank you.
Can I interject again? So I've done that before. So what I do is I do pre-sale. I take orders ahead of time, right? And then what I do is I stagger the times that people can pick them up, so that now it's like I can say, okay, well, 8 people can come at 12 o'clock, blah, blah. So now what it creates this culture. I have about 8 people coming to pick up stuff. So it looks like I'm selling right there. So then I get more customers to come and say, oh, what's going on over here? So now it creates more customers. So just want to say that.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
All right, I know we're getting close to time, so if there was I probably have time for another question if anybody had any more questions. And just as a reminder, I do have the presentation deck that Sarah has, which is a cheat sheet for these pop-ups. So I will send it out in a recap email along with this recorded session as well too. And we sent it out to not just everybody who attended, but anybody who registered as well too. So if you had a friend or a referral that was supposed to attend today and wasn't able to, we're also going to send it out to them as well too. Well, perfect. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Alex, I had a question for you. Wait, are you guys planning to put up a pop-up event for the CIELO members?
I mean, ideally we'd love to at some point, but nothing concrete for the time being. But I would say that with more and more clients that we're working with, I almost feel like we're getting to a point where we could do one. So no, nothing in plan yet, but eventually.
Let me chime in here. Our clients will probably receive an email in a few days about an event we're going to be having in September, which is a night market, the CIELO night market. So I do believe we're going to be having about like 10 spots for clients to showcase either products or food there. So we'll be sending that out to clients within the coming days. So that could be a possible opportunity. But then the big intention or goal for the future would be to have something a little bit bigger where we have a lot more clients involved, right? So that's a great question, Lorna.
Great, thank you.
We did have a network mixer on in May. Actually, Sarah was there, and we did showcase 2 of our clients. So one way or another, we always try to keep our clients involved. And we prefer to use them versus outside vendors. So we may not have a big market pop up, but like what Gabby mentioned, we do have the event coming up, and we do have other events where we like to showcase our vendors as well to our clients. So just want to throw it out there as well. All right. Well, thank you everyone for attending. This was a great topic. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing your tips and the knowledge that you have with these pop-up markets and with what you do at Hustle Trucks. So again, we're going to go ahead and send a recap email with Sarah's information along with a copy of the slide deck that with the tips. And we look forward to seeing you all in future events. And again, thank you, Sarah, for coming out here today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was super fun. I look forward to working with all you guys in the future.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.